Welcome to Amplifying Leadership and Tip Thursday with Tara. I am Tara Lehman, a partner, coach, and consultant at Twin Life Coaching and Business Services, of which Amplifying Leadership is part of. I hope to bring you some information or a key takeaway that you can use to build, enhance, or grow your leadership skills with Tip Thursday with Tara. Setting boundaries has been a very hot topic for many of my clients lately. Why? Because leaders have stress and deadlines that can go on for days. Trust me, I can relate. This was something I grew very accustomed to, with those dings of the never-ending emails or those numerous meetings, working late, or whatever other interruptions or things that cause that additional stress. So how can we use setting boundaries to help us as leaders? Well, a lot of people talk about work-life balance, but you forget about balance at work and setting some boundaries when it comes to when you're available maybe, or when you go on Do Not Disturb, so you can catch up on all of those things that have been creating a massive to-do list that now is so big, you don't know what to do with it. I used to set time in my calendar where I was on Do Not Disturb. I let everybody know it was Do Not Disturb. And I would literally start going down that to-do list and knocking things off. So setting some time at work where you're by yourself and you can work on the things you need to do that is not interrupted, is not a meeting, is not late at night, right? Set some times when you're on Do Not Disturb. Also, think about those meetings that we all attend. And we talk a lot about how many meetings did we go to? We did not need to be there. So set some boundaries around those rules, for example, on meetings about who needs to attend. And if this is your team and you're setting the meeting, remember they need balance at work too. So really ask yourself, who must attend this meeting and who can be informed later? Save everybody the time from attending those unnecessary meetings that we all go to. Create times when your door is open for employees to drop by. If you are stressed, you have so many meetings, you need to do work, that's okay, but your employees need you too as a leader. They absolutely need you. You are their guiding person. So you need to create times if you're really overwhelmed when that door is open for your employees. So perhaps you have a little open sign, make it fun, that 11 to 12 and from 3 to 4, these are the times when people can just drop on by. A boundary for you is to go home at a reasonable time. I have many leadership and small business clients where they don't go home at a reasonable time. A reasonable time for a regular worker is 8 hours. You work 8 hours, maybe you get a half-hour lunch. So 8 to 9 hours you're at work and they go home. A lot of leaders don't see this as possible. And if that's not possible for you, I challenge you to go home at a more reasonable time than you are now. So if you go in at 6 and you're leaving at 8, my challenge for you is to knock that down to 7 over the next 4 weeks. And in the morning, the 4 weeks after that, to get it to 7 until eventually you're working between 8 and 10 hours a day. You must keep balance with your body. So this means eating well and exercising, even at work, and setting those boundaries around lunchtime. If you're on lunch, I want it to be without work, without interruption of people. One rule in my corporate life that we had was the lunchroom was off limits when people were on lunch to bring work questions to them. If that's not possible where you are, how can you get away in order to have your 20 to 30 minute lunch without work? You need it. Trust me, you need that midday break. And I have talked about this so many times because too many leaders don't eat lunch or eat lunch mindlessly while working. You need to appreciate what you're doing for your body when you take that break. And for the exercise, Do stretches at work. Maybe you start a little 15-minute stretch break for you and your employees if they want to join you, so that there's balance at work and you're setting boundaries around expectations that you are allowed to get up, you are allowed to eat well, you are allowed to stretch. And a big boundary that needs to be set for so many of my clients and leaders out there is a proper bedtime and without your phone or laptop. Lots of my clients come to me saying, well, I was up at 1 o'clock in the morning and then at 2 I got an email and it was so urgent. Trust me, most cases it's not that urgent and it can wait 4 or 5 more hours. So go to bed and get your sleep. You need that boundary, and it needs to be clear that you're not answering emails when you're in bed. You're not having your phone beside you waiting for the ding, because let me tell you, when you do that, you don't sleep well. If you don't sleep well, you're not going to function well at work. You need to set really great boundaries around these things. So as leaders, it can be really difficult for us to figure out what those boundaries are around work and life, which is why so many people come to me and I help them with understanding. You don't have to do it all at once. If you are used to working 6 a.m. until 8 p.m., I'm not going to tell you to break that down to 8 hours tomorrow. You need to figure out what it is that needs to happen in order to be able to set boundaries like that. So we may start with 15 minutes. Whatever it is, you need to start to create those boundaries so that you don't get stressed or even the worst, burnt out. We can check those emails late at night, but that's only meaning we're not getting a good night's sleep, as I mentioned earlier, because we will start to worry about responding or what someone might say, or what if I get this email? Setting boundaries allows you to have a work life and a personal life, and both of these are important. And they are also needed. You need boundaries for proper sleep. Always forgotten. You hear a lot of people say, don't forget to eat well and exercise. Sleep is so vital. And it's vital when you do exercise to help your body rest as well. Remember, if you're changing your eating habits or your exercise habits, or you're looking to change some sleep habits, always remember, contact your medical practitioner first before making any major changes. All right, that is Tip Thursday with Tara for this week. As a reminder, our community is out there to help leaders with these types of challenges and to creating those boundaries as well. We have group discussions, resources, pre-recorded courses, discounts on my coaching, and so much more. All so you can belong to a community of individuals who believe in leadership and all that comes with it, including setting those boundaries. You can find out more about this and all our leadership services at amplifyingleadership.ca, a Twin Life Coaching and Business Services division. To see more about us, you can find us as Twin Life Coaching and Business Services on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and our YouTube handle at Twin Life Coaching. Until next time, please be safe and be an amazing leader or leader to be.